From the many stories on the internet, reaching ghosts, goblins, demons, and even insane people. The stories that are either written to be scary or tell an interesting story based on real life. This is Etala Core 2008. I once saw a Cartoon Network sign on that I'm pretty sure everyone will claim they have never seen before, and it did air once on Halloween Day from what I remember. I mean, it makes sense after all. A bizarre Cartoon Network sign on that came after Adult Swim would probably never air again. For some of you who came searching for my story, I'll cut to the chase. My memory was foggy that night, so I don't remember much of what happened from the bumper, but I do remember how it went. I, a 20-year-old, was lying down after watching the final show on Adult Swim before I went to Cartoon Network at 4 a.m. The Adult Swim sign-off came on and then soon ended afterwards, leading to the Cartoon Network sign-on. Yes, I did record the sign-off for archives. I remember the original checkerboard Cartoon Network logo appearing on the screen in front of a black background. It was kinda weird since it would do some wacky cartoon stuff about Cartoon Network coming back on air for the day. This was just the logo in front of the boring background. It made me assume that the executives were too lazy to put effort into it, so I chuckled a bit. After watching the boring logo for a bit, I started to realize that it's been going on for a lot longer than a normal sign-on. That's when I heard a gust of wind for some odd reason. At first I thought it was coming from outside, but then I realized that all the windows were closed for the night, and it was also coming from my TV, which gave me goosebumps. As the sound of wind echoed through my TV, I started to hear deep breathing, and it was loud as hell too. It was so loud that the neighbors could hear it from a block away. I covered my ears to block out the loud noise, but I could still hear it despite my effort to block out the sound. There was no point in plugging my ears since I can't block it out, so I uncovered them, and now the deep breathing was louder and faster. And now steam was slowly covering the entire logo. What was unsettling was that the steam was a darkish red color. As a fan of horror and creepypastas, I would not be spooked by this since they're usually fake. But I was actually looking at a real-life creepypasta. What psychopath would make this on Cartoon Network? I was literally paralyzed, and the remote was on the other side of the couch. As the steam slowly covered the logo, the deep breathing changed into a painful coughing, along with the soft crying of a male.
What the hell?
I managed to shout out before going silent again. Now all the audio was all the way up, and now my ears were starting to hurt. Finally, my body sprung back into action, and I grabbed the remote and turned off the TV before it got any louder. Thank God it was over. Why on earth would Cartoon Network executives think it was funny to air something that might have came from a creepypasta? This was wrong, and surely I can't be the only one who saw the sign on. I did finally fall asleep, and the next day I felt more exhausted than ever. Luckily, I had the day off, so for the rest of the day I just fell back asleep. Just last week, I remembered the Cartoon Network sign on from that night, and it gave me goosebumps again. I decided to research it if anyone saw the Cartoon Network sign on. To my surprise, some adults actually saw the Cartoon Network sign on and made an investigation about the topic. The information they stored was in a private Discord server they sent me, and they even had their own Wikipedia page about it. It sadly cannot be accessed by other people, but I'll eventually send screenshots when I get the chance. I was in a voice call with the people who are investigating the topic, and I think you'd be surprised on what kind of information they had about it. The Cartoon Network sign-on was actually called the Red Steam, and it was to promote Halloween for adults, but it was too scary for kids and adults alike, which was the main reason why it never aired again. It was made by a Christian guy who lived in Bangladesh who lost his family due to toxic air pollution, which was the reason why you heard a person choking on steam. It was supposed to represent the toxic air pollution, and the color red represented the belief that the devil caused his family death. And nobody saw the end but for one person in the voice call. She claimed that at the end of the sign-on, a zombie-like hand jump scares anyone and starts banging on the TV screen before it cut to the next program, which was codenamed Kids Next Door. The zombie hand was supposed to represent the death of his family and many others who unfortunately died due to the heavy smog. Honestly, I've never actually thought that creepypasta like stuff can exist in real life besides learning with Pibby.